the meeting to order. Let's stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, I'm working off the iPad here, so we're going to talk about the public announcements. There are vacancies on the Cultural Council for Elder Affair Alternate, Energy Committee, Recreation, and Historical Commission. The board is also looking for volunteers to serve on the 200th Anniversary Committee. Applications for appointment are available online at www.hanson-ma.gov or in the Selectmen's office. Town clerk would like to remind dog owners that all dogs over 6 months must be licensed by September 30th. Town meeting will be held on Monday, October 3rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Hanson Middle School. A quorum of 100 voters is required to conduct the meeting. A copy of the town meeting warrant is on the website at www.hanson-ma.gov. The Water Department also reminds residents that there's a total water ban in effect. Outside watering is prohibited. Upcoming meetings. The final Plymouth County Hospital Reuse Committee meeting is having a meeting on Wednesday, September 28th at 4 p.m. at the police station. Again that evening, September 28th at 7 p.m. at the Selectmen Meeting Room. And again, once again on Saturday, October 1st at 9 a.m. at the Plymouth County Hospital site as they're going to do a walkthrough. There will be a Selectmen meeting on October 3rd, 7 p.m. at the Hanson Middle School. A town meeting, of course, October 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at the Hanson Middle School. And if we go over, is that right, Mary?
Correct.
We will have a meeting on, Selectmen meeting on October 4th at 7 p.m. at the Hanson Middle School. And again, also, the town meeting will be held at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, October 4th at Hanson Middle. And again, that's only if we go over. There will be a Selectmen meeting on Tuesday, October 18th. This is a regular meeting at 7 p.m. And next, I'd like to explain to ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mike McHugh's out for personal reasons. We miss him tonight, obviously, and filling in for him is Mary Marini.
Mr. McHugh asked that I mention to the Board of Selectmen that the tree that had been over in front of the fire station has now been relocated to the Town Hall Green. We will be using that as our annual Christmas tree. He also mentioned that there is a maple tree as you come into the parking lot on the right that is growing into the wires, and thought that maybe it should be taken down if the board wants to check it out and give your blessing at a later time. But he was a little bit concerned about that once he was out there viewing the site for the new tree. He also has gone up to the Indian Head School and met with the principals up there, and they're planning on planting a tree in honor of Anne Frank for some of the projects they're doing. So they will be, he'll be working with the Indian Head School to start that project. And that is all he had for me to pass along today.
Thank you. I think we had one more item to cover under Mr. Bob Hayes. Bob, contract.
Good evening. Mr. Chairman, this has to do with the change order for the roof area A roof replacement associated with Quan Elementary School. Enclosed piece, find 3 copies of the original change order number 1 for the above referenced project. This change order is specific to a monetary credit to the Whitman-Hanson Regional School District in the town of Hanson for the unit price of the work that was reportedly not performed. The reason for this change order is that Gibson Roofs, Inc., Gibson, reportedly did not uncover any unforeseen conditions as it related to the items noted in Section 1, 21, and 00 unit prices. Gale Associates considers the change order to be fair and reasonable, therefore Gale has no objections to the change order. Change order number 1, in the amount of $6,961.50, which is the unit price sum less the specific overhead and profit which was allowed. The credit amount decreased the original contract price from $207,000 to $200,038.50. Upon execution of the originals, please return a copy to both Gale and Gibson. What this means is there was a credit of $6,961.50 on roof project Area A and associated work at the McQuon Elementary School. So I would ask you to vote it again. I think we did this one time. You didn't have the documents. The school committee has already voted it. And then, Jim, you need to sign it so I can turn it back in, and then it can get turned in for the town accountant to pay this change.
To pay this for this subject
So we
change, right?
basically saved $6,900.
That's money actually coming back
61.
into the town.
Right, well, it never went out.
Yeah.
The total project for that specific was $207,000. Originally, the town had voted at town meeting $322,000. This bid came in at $207,000, and we actually got the work
201,
performed in the
202.
beginning of $200,038.
Okay, so this is just to rewrite the contract for that amount.
Right,
I'm with you.
even though it's a savings, it's not an overflow, we still have to have it and vote it.
Okay. Are there any questions to Mr. Hayes on this? Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve this contract rewrite for a lesser amount of 60, how much is it on the?
$6,961.50.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Discussion?
So does that bring the original bid, original contract down to what, like 200,000?
It brings the original contract price down to $200,038.50. That's the change number from 207.
Yeah. Fine.
You're getting money back. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just an update
Zero.
further, there's going to be another RFP coming out on parts of that roof. There were some unforeseen other parts that weren't roof area A that were associated work. There's going to be an RFP to come out about that, and that will be put out to bid, and we'll be coming back to you with that figure and what's exactly going on with that. But this sums up pretty much that roof project, less a few other things that need to be done. And hopefully that, all that'll be fixed, and we'll be moving forward with a nice tight building for the future,
For future.
for the students and the residents of Hanson.
Mr. Mitchell has a question.
Mr. Hayes, when do we expect to get the rest of that work done?
Well, right now,
Time frame, when will it be?
Gail is probably going to be writing up a request for the bid, the bid proposal, so everybody has an opportunity to bid. That has to be written exactly to the specifications of what needs to be done. There's a chimney involved, there's a bunch of stuff that I read to the Board of Selectmen at one point that needs to be done, and as soon as that document is drawn up, then it'll be put out to bid. And hopefully the bids will come in, we'll have a bid opening date, and then I'll be coming back to the Board of Selectmen for a vote. Because with this intermunicipal agreement, which has worked pretty well, we're doing this together, so everybody's on the same page, so it seems to have worked pretty well, and we'll be coming back to you and explaining exactly what's going on and moving forward.
But it doesn't, it's too close to the end of the year, correct? Probably so.
I
that-
really don't know,
You're not
Jim.
sure?
Again, it's in an outside vendor's hand. We're trying to get it done and summed up as quickly as possible.
Right, I get
So
you.
there'll be any other further damages in any parts of that roof. I mean, it's minimal work, but there's a chimney that's having some issues, and as you know, if you flash
Flashing.
into a chimney, and there's a couple of outside doors over the stage that, when you go out, the flashing, the whole one of them, the door is separated, so there's some work to be done.
Yeah,
But
some of the
it's
seams were
going to
split in the
be-
rubber
pardon?
roof. Some of the seams were split on the rubber roof too,
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
there's
right?
some of that going on. But
Okay.
hopefully, like I said, the last proposed bid was in the $70-some-odd thousand area, so I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape.
Okay,
And we'll move forward with it, and I'll keep you updated on everything that's going on.
thank you, Bob.
Jim, if you could just sign these.
Sure.
Where the blue is, like right here.
We did vote on this, right, Mary?
No, not
We
yet.
did not vote on it?
Well, you moved it. I
We
haven't,
moved it? I'm sorry, let me vote
unless I
first.
took a nap, I don't think you actually voted.
Yeah, we did.
It's a good thing I
vote.
asked.
Was it,
Yeah.
okay, 5-0?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Just napping, don't mind.
I'm sorry, I took the same nap as you did, okay? Where do you need me to sign?
Anywhere where the blue is, Jim.
Gotcha. Today's date's 9/27/16.
There's a few more. I think there's 3 copies too.
Sorry.
I
The reason why we're doing this now is so that maybe we could meet before the end of the year with these fixes. I got you.
I got a question. We need to rescind, does the selectmen need to rescind that vote that was taken to proceed with the work on the 77,000? Since it's gonna have to go out for an RFP and then be awarded and then another contract?
I don't,
I would
Don't
think
know.
so, since we voted to.
Next time.
Voted to go forward with the work. There's no work to go forward with if there's gonna be an RFP. We should vote to rescind that vote.
the vote was to move forward with the work. I
You
don't
can't
know
go
if the vote-
forward with the work, because there's gonna have to be an RFP,
That goes out
and
with it?
then it's gonna have to be bid, then there's gonna be a contract, and then you vote to
That's what
approve the
we're doing
contract.
anyways.
No,
I
we're not
understand what
doing
he's
that.
saying.
We're not doing that.
He's saying we're not doing that. So he's saying that because it's going off for RFP, it sets up a whole new ballgame and it starts it all over. It's like a reset button on it, so,
Yep, that's right.
okay. Entertain a motion to rescind the vote that occurred, what was that, about 3 weeks ago, Mary? When we voted on the board? Was the one, remember that?
Pull it up, I don't remember.
All right.
Yeah.
To move forward with, vote to rescind to move forward on the $77,000 that we're costing to, on the roof area repairs for McQuon. I'm entertaining a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. So we're gonna pull back on this, wait for Mr. Hayes to come back with us on the RFP for the remaining roof, and then we'll vote on this again, okay? This is just a formality. Discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before we move
Mr.
forward,
Hayes, yes.
I asked you, and we rescinded, and I asked you to
Vote on
take a
this,
vote to let us move forward.
on the
Get
RFP?
Gail to form an RFP to see what the type of work is, and then before, after they draw it up and we get the bids in, then we'll take a final vote to move forward. But basically now,
You just want the permission, you want the agreement of the board to move forward with getting it fixed, I got you. All right. All right, entertain a motion to vote to move forward with submitting an RFP through Gale
to let Gail draw up
Draw-
a bid spec.
bid
for an
specs
RFP.
for
So
RFP.
moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you. I'll do the same with the school committee. As I said, I will keep you in loop.
I'm with you, Bob. I know it's a formality, probably with my signing it is implicit that it was going with it, but I'm with you, okay?
Page 7,000.
Yeah, that's a good
Good thing.
Okay, so we're moving off of the town administrator report onto new business. The Great Cedar Cattle Feeders request for extension for gravel removal permit. On your iPad or your packets, you should have information on this.
It's actually a letter from George Hasiotis requesting, per their agreement, they have a gravel removal permit. Were granted 100 loads to be removed. Due to the summer's drought condition, they were unable to remove any further loads of the 62, they removed
100
62
out
of
of
the 100.
100.
Yeah, we did that.
So they just want to extend their gravel
Original.
removal permit till August 15th, 2017.
Okay, so they wish to extend their original agreement to August 15th, 2017, and obviously they were not able to meet their time frame due to the drought. Is that 62 out of 100 that they did, Mary? Do we know?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Is that 62 out of 100 that they did, or they were supposed to do in addition during this time?
I think they're,
During this time, right?
during this time, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to extend the original agreement to the Great Cedar Cattle Feeder LLC to August 15th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? Any questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All set, Mary. Okay. The Water Commission has a vacancy, and I've been asked to read tonight, at tonight's meeting, this position. I guess we have a vacancy on the Board of Water Commissioners. I'm reading this directly. We've set a deadline for October 12th at noon to receive applications. The board will review the applications and make a decision on the 18th of October.
Right, one of the water commissioners has resigned, so they're a four-member board right now. The commission has decided they'd like to fill the position, which would require a joint meeting between both the Board of Selectmen and the water commissioners. So anyone interested in applying for the position can get an application either at the Selectmen's office or online. Get it to our office by the 12th. That way we'll give all the applications to the water commissioners who will be meeting on the 13th, so they can review the applicants. And then the Board of Selectmen and the water commissioners will meet on the 18th for a joint meeting and make an appointment. That person will serve on the Board of Water Commissioners until the following May, at which time,
For that time?
to finish out that term, and they'd have to run for it if they wish, or whatever, but
Gotcha, okay. So are we looking for, is this just a
we don't
notice?
have a vote, it's really just an
Just a
announcement
notice,
to let people know that there's a
announcement. Gotcha,
vacancy
gotcha.
there.
Okay, thank you. Next item I have on our agenda is a vote to award the contract for emergency demolition for a portion of the Plymouth County Hospital. I guess what had happened was, we had made an agreement last time to send Beta Engineering up there to do an assessment on the asbestos in the PCBs. And as they went up there, they realized that the building portion that they were going to examine was appeared to be, looked like it was going to be falling down. So we're requesting an emergency contract to award for the demolition of a portion of this. How much is it, Mary?
$15,880. There's a copy of the contract actually in your packets.
In our
I didn't have time
packets?
to get it up on the, into the Dropbox.
Gotcha, gotcha. That's what I'm looking for. So you should have a copy of this contract in front of you.
And it would be awarded to Costello
It will be awarded to Costello.
Dismantling Company of Wareham.
So bids were supposed to be turned in by Friday, September 23rd at 4 PM. They were, I imagine, they were opened, and Costello won the contract, right?
Who's the low bidder?
He was the low bidder.
He was the low bidder. Any questions on this,
Where's the
gentlemen?
money coming from for that?
The money will be coming from the Finance Committee, has a meeting tonight.
FinCom.
They were gonna vote on a reserve fund transfer tonight for the project. Mike had, Mr. McHugh had spoken to the chairman of the Finance Committee.
And it's for $15,880, Mary?
Correct.
Costello Dismantling Company. It's on third last
You
page.
have to knock it down and haul
You
it
guys
away
will see
too?
it. Yes. Yep. They talked that 3 sets of drawings will be delivered separately or otherwise made available.
Just do demolition.
All right, I imagine we're looking for a vote on this, right, Mary, to accept?
Yes, to authorize the chairman to sign the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to allow the chairman of the board to sign a contract for emergency demolition of former Plymouth County Hospital Annex Building to the Costello Dismantling Company. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I may. Costello Dismantling Company is the company that tore down the old light control property. They were hired by the private engineers that were doing that tear down, and they were extremely happy with the progress and the way they handled it, all of the issues down there and cleanup and stuff like that. So I think they have a pretty good reputation for that.
Thank you, Bill. All right, all those in favor? Say aye. Aye? 5-0, Mary? We'll sign at the end of this meeting. Okay, next I have is the South Shore Vocational Technical High School services available to committees. Okay.
Mr. Hickey is here to speak on
Ah,
that.
all right. Mr. Hickey, would you like to, would you
Certainly.
take the podium, please?
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Not at all. It was a short commute. In the late summer, I sent a letter to the town administrators that are part of our 8-town region, trying to bring to the respective towns' attention that we have many vocational technical programs that can perform work for our communities. I think most folks probably know that the school has been playing a role with the Bonnie House. And a few years back, we also were fortunate to have our carpentry students work on the dugouts at the newest field at Botieri. So I appreciated when Mr. McHugh reached out and asked if I wanted to come in and say hello, and also just reiterate that it's while it's not merely municipal work that our kids work on, we like to be able to present ourselves as an opportunity for our towns to see a return on investment. So just earlier this evening, I was emailing Bob Arsenal back and forth. He had an idea. Some of the signs we have in town, veterans' names on them, some of them need to be sandblasted and painted. We have a collision repair program that has some of the equipment that could do that. You folks were kind enough to donate a surplus police vehicle earlier that we made every effort to resuscitate the patient, but unfortunately we couldn't, and so we still can have the kids practice on those cars. So it's a great relationship, but essentially the letter indicates that not only do we have vocational programs in auto collision and in automotive, we obviously have a carpentry program. Right now, our kids are building a 3,000 square foot maintenance building behind the school. We have a machining program, which I've yet to see a part that someone comes in and says, can you make this broke? And our kids can do it. We have some very talented teachers and students. We have an HVAC program. We have a culinary arts department with a restaurant open to the public 4 days a week. Cosmetology program with a salon open 4 days a week. The culinary program caters, and also we host civic meetings. So it's an opportunity. It's a good time of year to raise this awareness, as it is the start of the school year, certainly. We have a graphic communications program that does a lot of design and printing work as well. So it's as simple as individual citizens, nonprofits, municipalities reaching out to the school, and we put you in touch with the department head through one of our supervisors. And while we may not turn around work as quickly, it's certainly something that our instructors place instruction as a top priority. So we have a course curriculum, and where it fits, we just think it's win-win. So anyway, I appreciate the opportunity to just raise your awareness, and folks in the audience and watching at home, if those opportunities arise, keep us in mind, because our curriculum is the real world, and we like to give kids real-world jobs to work on.
Sure. I noticed here, Tom, that it says we can also arrange for our students to visit your Council on Aging Senior Center for the cosmetology.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's actually new. They recently changed, my cosmetology department head tells me that they recently made some changes to the Board of Cosmetology regulations, allowing for remote work to be done.
That's cool.
So oftentimes we will have councils on aging or senior centers bring folks to school. Now we have the opportunity that we can reciprocate, which might be easier for some folks.
Sure.
So that's something that could be arranged as well.
That's terrific. Yeah. Mary, we should see if getting Mary Collins a copy of this letter.
Yes.
I think that some people might be interested in that, so. Well, any questions to Mr. Hickey on this? I think this is terrific. I'm reading this letter, and I think this is terrific. Like you said, automotive, auto body, graphic communications, carpentry, electrical, HVAC, metal fabrication, welding, culinary arts.
Our students, our electrical and carpentry students, you might have seen the bandstand on 139 in Hanover. That was a recent project as well, tucked in by the Sylvester School.
Very nice.
So again, when we can perform municipal work in our communities, it's a priority. So it's a great testament to the partnership.
We should put in a plug for your Brass Lantern Restaurant. It's open
Yeah.
Tuesday through Friday, right?
Thank you, yes.
11:30 to 1:30. And we're available to host civic groups and larger parties, and we also provide takeout options and catering. Very nice. Thank you very much, Mr. Hickey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is the vote to sign a subscription form for the Homeland Security Regional Equipment Cache. This is Cache CACHE. So we have in front of us, so you should have it on your iPads, Southeast Homeland Security Regional Advisory Council, right? This is access to emergency equipment in the Bridgewater Homeland Security cache. Should we have somebody here to speak to this, Mary, or,
Yes, we do.
okay. Who's here for us?
Chief is here.
Chief Mix.
This is a partnership that we've been taking part in for a few years now already. What they do is every few years they want us to reaffirm the agreements and they redo the rules. What they have right now is, and this has been in existence, like I said, for actually more than 3 years, a cache of equipment that we can use that's supplied through Homeland Security. So an example of it is the message board out front. That is part of this equipment. It's just not kept at the Bridgewater cache, it's kept with us. It's available to us when there's emergencies. The rules are spelled out that I know you have in front of you, and I won't bore everybody with it. But basically, we just need to reaffirm our agreement with them that we'll follow the rules, which is if we borrow it and break it, we'll fix it. Anything that's expendable, we'll replace. And we agree to the terms that they've set forth into as to how we're going to use the equipment.
It's only 5 pages, I think, right, Mike? It's not too bad. Rules for
Rules are only
borrowing.
a couple pages.
Yep.
There's a letter explaining it, and then the agreement itself says that we understand and agree to the rules.
Yep. Access and use of this equipment is simple and easy. Review the rules from the sheets, sign and return the subscription form, and contact Chief Thomas Levy at the Bridgewater Fire Department or Superintendent Rob Ken at the East Bridgewater Department of Works to borrow any of the equipment. Very nice. So, Mike, I imagine we're looking for a vote to approve?
Yeah, I honestly, I thought that the town administrator could probably have signed this, it's an agreement. But yeah, I'd prefer the board take care of that to make sure that we're all in agreement with it. We're already taking part, so we might as well
Formality.
it's a formality, we might as well keep going with it.
Sure. I'd like to entertain a motion to allow, or to permit our town administrator to sign the,
Actually, since he's not here, I put your name on it.
put mine, okay, Chairman, to sign the Southeast Homeland Security Regional Advisory Council Act, rules for borrowing.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor, say aye. Aye? Ready to sign at the end, right, Mary?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, next I have is the accept donation of boat and motorcycle from the, from Hanson resident Alan Pierce. I'm looking.
Mr. Chairman, the,
Where have you-
Mr. Pierce had offered to donate a motorcycle and a boat to the secondhand rose shop that's housed down at the Council of Elder Affairs. The Sue King, who runs it, says we can't take a piece quite that big. So the highway department went up and moved the equipment for this gentleman who has been trying to get rid of it for a while and hasn't had any luck. So Mr. McHugh will put it on muni bid, which is a way to get rid of, sell surplus equipment, and whatever money he gets from that particular sale will go to the revolving fund for the Council of
Council of
Elder
Aging.
Affairs.
Excellent.
The value is probably, less than $5,000 for the 2 pieces of equipment.
Cool.
So the board just has to vote to accept the donation.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the donation of a boat and motorcycle, value less than $5,000, so that the proceeds could be made, hopefully, and put back to the Council of Aging.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce, very much. Okay, next we have on our agenda our appointments. And we want to talk about Michael Means at 342 South Street to the Nathaniel Thomas Mill Committee. I think Mike's here tonight, isn't he? Mike? No?
I haven't seen him.
Haven't seen him? Okay. Well, he indicates information to assist in arriving at an accurate estimation of qualifications. He's a lifelong town resident, a handyman, and he'd like to see the building and property more utilized. So I think that's a good thing. I think we all know Mike when he came up in front of us last time, so. I'd entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Michael Means to the Nathaniel Thomas Mill Committee, term to expire June 30th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0, Mary. Next, we have Mr. John Murray at 44 Slay Drive, Hanson, who's applying for the Energy Committee, which the term expires on June 30th, 2017. And Mr. Murray has served 5 years on the Conservation Commission. He's the current secretary on the Highway Building Committee. And I think he's here tonight, isn't he? Yes, he is. Are there any questions for Mr. Murray?
Mr. Murray is our secretary on the Highway Committee, and I think he does a great job. So he certainly has my support. He's full of energy.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I'd like to entertain a motion to accept Mr. John Murray of 44 Slay Drive to the Energy Committee. Term expires June 30th, 2017.
So moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Mary, I'll let you figure out who to pick, okay?
I'll third it.
Okay, then third. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, John. Okay, next we have is Mr. Peter Daly, and he is applying for Parks and Fields Commission. He's filling Mr. Stephen Lyon's vacancy, which the term to expire on June 30th, 2018. He's lived in Hanson for approximately 35 years, and he's worked for the town for 15 years. He's the president of Hanson Youth Basketball, and he coaches 2 basketball teams as well as a football team for Hanson. Right, Mr. Daly's here tonight, right? Thanks, Pete. Any questions for Mr. Daly? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Did we actually have a motion?
I'm sorry, I apologize. Motion to accept Mr. Daly's application for appointment.
Okay.
So
You gotta let me
Don moved that and Kenny seconded it.
Yeah, to Parks and Fields filling Mr. Steve Lyon's vacancy, term to expire June 30th, 2018, Mary. Motion's been made and seconded. Now we call for vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Can't get you in there fast enough, Pete, thanks. All right, you'll be working with Kenny, you have my regrets. All right, I'm only kidding you. Kenny's a good guy to work with. Okay, we have a request for appointment for a special police officer, 2 positions. One is for Jeffrey Bailey, term to expire June 30th, 2017, and the other one is for Mr. Brian Watson, also term to expire for June 30th, 2017. They're currently on the full-time list, and Chief Mix is looking that the Board of Selectmen now appoint them as special police officers with an annual appointment. I would entertain a motion to accept the appointment of these 2 gentlemen as read to the special police officer with the term to expire of both of them as of June 30th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. You did that one right, Mary?
Got it.
All right, you got it. 5-0. Okay. The Hanson Little League Baseball. We've received a letter from Mr. Paul Clark. He's the secretary of the Hanson Little League, and I'm requesting a permit from the Board of Selectmen to conduct the 6th annual Damien's Freaky 5K road race to benefit Hanson Little League, to be held at Damien's Pub, 279 Spring Street, on Saturday, October 29th at 10 a.m. We will be running the same course as we have every year, with permission already given from the Hanson Police Department. The course will start at Damien's and proceed north on Route 58, take a left onto Holly Ridge Drive, a left onto Winslow Drive, continue onto Orchid, and then take a right back onto Holly Ridge, and then follow back to on Route 58 to Damien's parking lot. We will hire any police details that are needed, as we have in the past. Thank you in advance for allowing us to be heard at this meeting. I've seen pictures on this event, it's pretty cool. A lot of kids, they do a lot for it, so. I would like to entertain a motion to grant this permit.
So
As
moved.
read.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations, Clacky. Okay, moving on to old business. Update on the status of the Camp Kawani investigation report. I did want to report to the town that the Board of Selectmen does anticipate receiving the investigation report in the next few days. The board expects to release it sometime in October during one of the open meeting sessions. As we get the report, we'll need to figure out what we have in it to make sure that there isn't anything sensitive. I'm not familiar with how to go out with this. If there's employees there, we may have to redact some information. That'll all have to be determined with legal counsel. So the idea is that the Board of Selectmen will get it in the next few days. We'll review it, we'll decide what we can do at that time, and then we'll release it to the public. That was an update.
When are we gonna review it, though?
Well, we're getting it this week, as soon as we get it. So,
Session.
all right.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, Jim Hickey, Ferry Ave.
Thank you.
On the investigation results that you're gonna receive, does the board have any plans to call the people that could be mentioned in it, that, past or present members of the rec commission?
To be
So
quite
that they
frank
have
with
a-
you,
So that they have a chance to review it before it goes public?
I think they would have to probably get it at the same time that the public gets it, Jim, but that's something that we would have to figure out with our attorney, with the attorney. Because frankly, I've never been put in this position before, I'm not clear on what we're supposed to do in the next steps.
Okay.
But I do know that whatever's in that report, that's what's going to decide the fate on which direction we go, right? Because if it's got employee-sensitive items in it,
Yep,
obviously it can.
I know it's Leo that's doing the.
Yes.
But we've got our counsel here, could he perhaps shed some light on that?
I
No, it's
don't-
legal counsel that you have
Labor
to go.
council would be have the expertise in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good try, but
Well,
yeah.
I just
I think
meant in
the
a
lawyer-
general way, what the general concepts would be, not on the
Yeah.
actual investigation
It's a
itself.
difficult
but what the
situation,
protocol
could
is.
it, because it could, Mr. Chairman, it could involve multiple people rather than
Right.
just one, and I've only served on one investigative panel since I've been in town, and it only involved one individual,
Mhm.
so that was fairly easy to resolve, but this could be multiple individuals, so I'm not really sure how that would be handled. Multiple individuals within one report, and
Right,
I'm not familiar with that.
right. So
We need some guidance from.
we need some guidance from it. There's no, I don't know, we may need to meet in executive session beforehand, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Depends on what's in the report.
Boy, that's the.
I know it is.
But you're planning on getting it within the next few days, you said?
That's correct.
So it should be done by the end of the week?
I believe so, yes, that's what I'm told, by the end of this week, yep. Are there any other questions? All right, I'm moving on to town meeting preview. You should have in front of you a warrants. And I prefer the hard copy on this one, guys, because I haven't figured out how to do split
I'm with
screen.
you on that.
Yeah, I think using your notebooks would be best.
Yeah, split screen is still a challenge.
But you'll
I'm
have
getting
your
there.
motions are gonna be in your books. I just wanna mention a couple of things that have changed. The first article, unpaid bills, we received one just today, so that amount has increased. And the supplemental budget number is a little bit more than we had been discussing, because we had added, the amount of money that we're using for the Plymouth County Hospital is coming from the reserve fund. So we had said to, the town administrator had said to the finance committee, whatever money that you give for the removal, the removal of the emergency removal of Plymouth County Hospital,
15.
we'll add that into the amount that
That's on the warrant?
Right.
I get
So
you.
that's what the difference is when you look at the total amount of the supplemental budget. It's the additional money that we just took from the reserve fund tonight.
Put into it, okay.
Assuming that passed. Did that pass?
Yeah, we approved by a vote of 5-0.
Okay, thank you. I'll grab that. You can leave it on the chair. Thank you.
Okay, do we need to open the warrant in order to vote?
No, we're just.
We're just gonna review as if we're doing town meeting, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Beth isn't here. She'll be down, the town clerk will be down at 8 o'clock because she's been doing dog licenses. But I think
Okay.
We should,
We don't need to wait, right?
excuse me?
We can start,
I-
right?
we can-
Yeah, we should be able to start.
Okay.
Okay, why don't I make a suggestion that we'll read the articles, and then if anybody has any questions, we can stop and read the explanation with the articles. Would that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, it might help the meeting to move along quicker, but obviously, we want to be able to explain.
I'll start it off.
Sure, Mr. Mitchell, do you want to start us off, please?
Article 1. Okay, Article 1, I move the town vote to transfer $6,999.16 from free cash and $1,516.08 from recreation retained earnings to pay unpaid bills from fiscal year 2016.
Second.
No, we don't have to vote on it.
Oh, we don't?
No,
No,
we're just,
no, this,
it's all right.
but Don, it's good. You're on top of it.
It's good practice.
It is good practice, no, because we would do that at town meetings.
Looking at the clock.
He's doing right, he's right.
Don't look yet.
Seconding it.
Johnny, we're smooth sailing, don't look yet.
Okay, Article 2, everybody on the board here knows who's reading what, good. Article 2, is that Mr. Scott?
Yes, it is. I move the town to vote to raise and appropriate $122,400 to supplement appropriations previously voted at the annual town meeting of May 2016 for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2016 for various town departments as printed in the warrant.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Scott.
And just so you know, once it's moved and seconded, we'll address each one of the items individually, just as we do with the budget. So we'll do item 1, hold or pass, and then move on.
Gotcha, so we'll itemize each one of these items, correct?
Correct.
After it's been seconded.
After it's been, okay. All right, any questions? No. Oh, Mr. Hickey?
Jim Hickey, do I have to wait until you guys, or can I ask right away? 'Cause
On this one? If
Yeah.
you want to ask right away on this one, you can. sure.
It seems to be a typo
Which
with,
one?
Oh, thank you.
with the first item.
Should be,
All the others, up to 5, equal the amount with the adjustment, but for some reason, 1 has 78,500, adjustment of 43,800, and it still has 78,500.
That's correct, because we're replenishing their budget.
This one.
Right. The Finance Committee has already given out that amount of money to other departments, so we're just bringing it back to where the budget line was. We're not increasing their budget. At the May town meeting, we appropriated 78,500. Over the last couple of months, they've actually given out 43,800, so we're just giving it back to them, so their budget will stay the same.
Oh, I see, okay.
Okay.
And what would be the reason for giving out that amount of money?
There were drainage issues that the highway needed, and, what am I missing? It's in. Okay. Thank you. No, that's, yeah, and for the Plymouth County Hospital project, the emergency funds we need to take down the portion of the hospital, that's included in that as well.
okay, so that money's just to replenish it up to 78,500,
Correct.
correct?
Right.
It's there now.
Okay, moving on to, thank you, Mr. Hickey, for the question, it was a good one. Article 3, who's proposed by the fire chief, is he here? Hey, he's-
Move the town vote to transfer $300,000 from the ambulance account to purchase an ambulance, medical equipment, and a power stretcher system.
Second.
Can I order it tonight?
He's, all right,
Do you want the explanation, Mr. Chairman?
No, we're good, I think. Does anybody want the explanation right?
I
we're
think
good.
Don wants the first ride.
Maybe that's it.
I get it, I've been using it recently.
No, let's not go down that path, right, brother? Okay. Thank you, chief. Okay, Article 4.
Mike, did I give you that? Did I give you the
Finance
motion?
No, I have the most updated.
Oh, okay, I thought I put a copy of
I'll
the
do it.
motion. I did the motion for
Article
you.
4, I move the town vote to raise and appropriate $25,000 to be added to stabilization, proposed by the Finance Committee.
Okay.
And in the past, it used to require a two-thirds vote, right?
That's
But
right.
it's no longer
No longer.
required.
2/3 out,
Two-thirds out. Oh,
majority in.
okay.
It just changed with the municipal modernization bill. Make it easier to put money away, make it harder to get that rainy day money.
I'll read the explanation. This money will be used to increase the stabilization fund. This type of fund is a mechanism for setting aside money either for unforeseen needs or capital projects. Such a fund is intended to equalize the effect of capital expenditures over time and provide a rainy day fund. The dollar amount appropriated under this article will increase the stabilization fund to $1,094,080, which represents 5% of the operating budget. The town's target has been to maintain close to 5%, which is the industry standard minimum amount of stabilization funds as recommended by our auditors. It will help to maintain a positive bond rating for future borrowing purposes. Thank you, Kenny. Moving on to Article 5, that's me. I move the town vote to raise and appropriate $10,000 to be added to the Regional Schools Capitalization Stabilization Fund as established by the October 2014 special town meeting.
Article 6, I move the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to borrow $1,800,000 for the demolition of remediation of the former Plymouth County Hospital building.
Okay, Article 7.
I move the town vote to transfer $15,000 from free cash to the 200th anniversary committee account.
Mr. Chairman, on Article 6, I just want to point out that has to be a 2/3 vote.
Two-thirds vote on Article 6, folks.
Where's that?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Sean.
Where's that? Two-thirds.
Mr. Young has a question. Why does he feel that, why does that one have to be
Because
two-thirds?
it's borrowing.
Under chapter 44. All borrowings 2/3,
Where's, oh,
or basically municipal,
That's
obviously.
only for 5 years, I think.
We're not gonna free cash it, right? No.
yeah, transferring from free cash.
That's Article 7, Bruce. You want Article 6 he's talking about.
Which one did I just read?
You haven't read it yet.
You haven't read it
No,
yet.
No, you
read
did.
7, but you
read
had a
7,
question on
but
6.
this is the one that he's saying requires a two-thirds vote.
Oh.
This is the chapter
You
44
confused
one.
me. I thought he was talking about, I just read 7,
No,
and
yeah.
it said it required a two-thirds vote.
No.
They're really threw me.
The anniversary fund is a separate.
Okay.
And then he said borrowing. Boy,
I hope the town meeting goes smoother than that.
That's why we do this.
That's why you said, why won't we get it from free
Good Lord. It's a good practice, right? Okay, so we're not gonna ask any borrowing questions on Article 7,
no,
right?
no, no,
Okay.
it's not being borrowed.
All right, good.
I don't want to borrow the 15 grand.
All right, Article 8. This is proposed by the planning board. Somebody here from this one, or am I reading this, Mary? Somebody here from the planning board?
Actually, Laurie got called away,
Laurie, okay.
so,
You want?
I moved the town vote to transfer $3,000 from free cash for the purpose of scanning planning board subdivision approval not required plans as-built plans and easement descriptions into electronic format.
Okay. Article 8.
So this is, just to confirm, that's being passed over.
Is it? No, where did that come from? I didn't know.
Mine says pass over.
Oh, okay. Then somebody else did that. Okay. I usually do, but somebody else did it.
Who said to pass over? Who said to pass over it?
It must have been the planning board must have decided to pass over it.
Oh, did they?
Well,
Yeah, the explanation, this work will be accomplished through the use of office supplies account.
oh, they have a choice. They can either get the scanner or they can increase their budget.
No, they weren't getting a scanner. They weren't
No,
actually
they
buying.
could try
a
to get the scanner, I'm saying.
No, these funds were not to buy a scanner. It was just to go out and have these documents scanned.
Scanned, okay.
Yes, it wasn't to
Okay.
purchase any equipment.
So we're like Office Max or whatever it is, right? Okay. It would have taken to do this, so they're not going to, they're going to do it a different way, apparently, right?
It's the motion I have in front of me. I mean, if they want to continue to move the article, that's
All right,
fine
they're gonna do
as well,
budget.
But I suppose we can talk to Mr. Ellis about that.
Sure,
It's Joe Weeks now.
Oh, it is?
yep.
Joe Weeks and Joe Campbell.
Yeah, I don't believe he wants to pass over it.
I didn't think so either. I talked to him today, but you know what? We'll find out. We'll get
Okay,
more clarification
great.
from him too.
I'm just putting questions.
All right, Article 9. This is proposed by the police chief. It says police chief, is that right? Or should it be?
No, it's proposed by him, but I have to speak at town meeting.
Gotcha.
I move the town vote to transfer $8,500 from free cash to purchase and equip a speed monitoring trailer.
That's the one that'll tell you how fast you're going, right? Excellent. Any questions on this? Thank you, chief. Next one I have is Article 10.
I move the town vote to transfer $24,000 from free cash for available funds for the continued upgrade of the public safety radio repeaters and radio system.
And this was explained to us by Chief Nix. And he gave us his overview. If you guys recall. All right, moving on. No questions on this, right? Article 11, Mr. Bob Brown.
I move the town vote to transfer from free cash a sum of $12,000 to purchase and equip the commercial zero-turn radius mower for the highway department.
Excellent. No questions. Okay, moving down to the next one, Article 12. Chief?
I move the town vote to transfer $20,000 from free cash to purchase and equip a portable lighting plant.
Excellent. No questions on this? Item, Article 13, proposed by the Board of Water Commissioners. Is that you, Article 13 we're on, correct, guys?
It's done, we don't have it in here.
Yeah, why don't you read it, Bob?
To see if the town will vote to ratify, no, I don't want to read that one.
I'll read
didn't
it.
vote for that one, so I gotta have somebody else in the water commission vote for
Well,
that one. Read that one.
I'll-
Read that.
I'll read it
that.
myself, okay? Article 13, to see if the town will vote to ratify a collective bargaining agreement between the Hanson Water Department Board of Water Commissioners and the AFS-CME Local 1700 Water Union, and further to appropriate a sum of monies through water revenues to be added to the amount appropriated under Article 5, line 90, salaries for the purpose of funding the first year of the three-year contract for the period beginning July 1st, 2016 and ending June 30th, 2017. We voted to hold on this last time, Mary, right?
Correct. The board can, make a recommendation on Monday if they decide to.
Okay, so the Board of Selectmen voted to hold, FinCom recommend.
Don, do you have an idea who might make the motion?
One of the commissioners.
Not
So he's down to,
Dawn.
he's down to 4 people. No, 3. There's no full
I will
count.
let you know.
Give it to the new guy.
Yeah, that's it, there you go.
I'll read the rest of them.
Show it to,
So more to come on this one, guys, in town meeting.
All right?
You good? Beginning?
You all set?
Okay, we're moving on.
Number 14, to see if the town will vote to transfer $245,100 from the water surplus to pay for the water purchase from the city of Brockton.
Okay, that's money that we owe them for when we were doing
When
our
we
tank.
had to take the water.
Dawn, will that pay them in full for all the water that we got
Yes,
on the
yes, it
tank?
will.
Okay.
And we'll never take water from Brockton again.
I hope you're right.
All right,
Article 15. All set?
Yeah.
yes,
To see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of monies from water revenue to purchase a new truck for the, what's that? I thought, wait a minute.
the amount?
Yeah, a sum of $100,000 to purchase a new
It's on the sum.
truck for the water department. That's to replace the aging, it's a 20-year-old red truck now that you see with a crane on it. It's running around town. It needs replacement bad, so,
It's costing the water department hundreds of dollars to repair, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, for repairs, it's getting ridiculous. Article 16, the vote to transfer the sum of, from surplus, I gotta read down this other one here. The truck,
You okay? The amount is 50.
$50,000 for engineering purposes to update the water department's master plan. This is a large map inside the water department building that it shows everything that the town of Hanson owns in the water department. It shows all the pipes, the sizes, the gates, the hydrants, and it hasn't been updated for years. And it's a lot of work to be done to it. Isn't that correct, Chip?
Correct.
Okay.
And Chip, this-
There's more, it does a lot more.
It does I know it does. It does a lot more.
So this will contain all the new items that were recently put in too, right?
Right,
The new elements?
everything will be updated to today's date.
Excellent. Okay, next.
I'm
Artic-
free now.
Article 17, proposed by the Conservation Commission. Anybody here from that department? Okay.
I move to vote to raise and appropriate, was it raise and appropriate? I think it's free cash.
Raise and appropriate or transfer.
To transfer from free cash $5,000 to replenish the conservation fund for open space management and related conservation purposes.
Article 18 is a school one, I'll do it. I move the town vote to transfer from the amounts appropriated to Article 34 of the October 2014 special town meeting, Indian Head Roof, $132,412, to fund the following school repair projects as printed in the warrant. Yep, let me go through them real quick, or is that not necessary?
I don't think so. It's,
Okay.
everybody has it. I just want to say that this money that we're paying for these repairs is coming from the Indian Head roof repair project, which had a balance of $136,000. So we'll,
Perfect.
worked out pretty good.
Was there a recommendation by the FinCom on this one?
Yeah, the 4-0 on all of them.
4-0 recommend.
It's on the, actually, next page in your book.
And Mary, when we read,
Thank you.
and when we read this article, we'll read the items also, correct? Is that right?
But we'll go through one,
I'll go
two,
through
just,
them one by one.
Gotcha.
Article 19, I move the town vote to transfer $25,000 from the Recreation Enterprise Fund retained earnings to the amounts appropriated in May 2016 annual town meeting. Article 11, item 8 Recreation Replace System.
should be septic system. So with that kind of-
Going replace, okay, replace a septic system. These additional funds are needed for the engineering and installation of a new septic system, estimate $25,000. That's Article 19.
Mr. Chairman?
Hold on for a second.
Mr. Chairman, I understand that might be passed over.
Yes, that's correct. I was just going to say that.
That money may not, is probably not going to be necessary because.
So that's one less article I get to read?
Yeah.
No, you still have to say Passover.
We
okay.
we actually transferred 75,000 at the town meeting.
Right,
for
I remember that.
Which would be, you know, it's
More
probably.
than enough?
Yeah.
Okay, good,
What I
that's good news.
understand.
Still a question?
Well, Mike, you kind of answered it if we're passing over, but the amount of 25,000 is severely underfunded. I think we had an estimate of $40,000 for the system is what we had presented previously.
Well, I think we
We've
were.
already voted for 75.
Right,
So we
so
get
no.
75 in an account. This 25 was an addition too, but they're saying it's possibly the 75 should cover it.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe is what Bruce is saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to Gil the other day and he said, you know, it's
75?
more than enough money.
Yeah.
Because the last time we did talk about this one, we thought that we were adding the 25 to the 75 to come to 100,000, right?
Yeah.
It looks like we may not need to, so, all right, cool.
Article
All right.
20.
Article 20.
I move the town vote to transfer $35,000 from the Recreation Enterprise Fund retained earnings to the amounts appropriated in the 2016 annual town meeting, Article 7, to fund the position of the Recreation Director.
And that's from a period of January 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2017, right?
And this-
You got a question too?
Mr.
I just
Bloss.
had a question.
Mr. Bloss, I'm sorry, could you just
I'm sorry.
say your
David-
name?
David Bloss, East Washington
Thank you,
Street.
sir.
Just had a question on this in regards to what the current holdings are, meaning what we have, the recreation has in the account, what's in the holding account currently. As I understand that the
87.
bookings are down substantially for next year, and I would hate to vote in a position that we cannot fund in the future.
$87,000 in equity that will cover that position.
How about, though, to cover the camp expenses? Are you saying that there's 87,000 in the account,
In your equity account.
in the equity account?
For that position, it's more than enough. Cover it for that 6-month period.
For that 6-month period, yes, but I'm asking, because the bookings are down as much as they are, I'd hate to hire somebody for 6 months and then cancel
Fiscal
the position.
2017?
Pardon me?
Fiscal 2017 ending next June?
No, I'm talking fiscal 2018, that the bookings are down as far as I know from what they were. And what I would not want to do is hire somebody for 6 months and then find out that we cannot support the position.
Supposedly, the camp is booked solid through June 30th, 2017.
Right.
But he's talking about-
2017, I'm talking the next year.
But I don't think we're funding it for that period of time.
Right, but what I'm saying is it would be nice to have all that information on the following year as well, so we don't hire somebody and then not have the funds to support the position after the fact.
July 1st, 2017 to June 30th, 2018? How would you have that one? How would you
There's
have
probably
that?
booking already done.
Normally, all that booking has been done.
It's an estimated amount, right? We would have a report of all the bookings through our administrative assistant, right?
It should be, yes.
So nothing
You know,
This is
changed.
only October, he's talking about
This-
fiscal 18.
No, it's a year away is what it is when we're talking fiscal years.
So you're talking about a projected amount, is that
You're
correct?
saying the fiscal year that starts July
That starts
2017
July
goes to July
2017.
2018.
How would you know that? How would you ever
We
know
always
that?
know that because we're booking weddings a year to 2 years in advance.
Well, I
If they're
understand
not
that.
booked now, there's a good chance that they will not be filled.
Why would you say that?
Why would I? Because of the history. People book weddings well in advance.
How do we
not-
know that the weddings are off, like you're saying?
That's my understanding. I don't know.
You
but
don't
I-
have any knowledge that
What
the
I'm
bookings are
saying
off.
is that I think we need to have those answers before.
Let me put it to you this way. From what, it's my understanding that camp is booked every weekend through June 30th of 2017, which means you're gonna be bringing in at least as much as you did last year, okay? So you're gonna be bringing in about $275,000 in revenue into that camp for 2017, fiscal 2017, okay? And I don't know about 18. I mean, how would you have any kind of handle on what you're gonna do for fiscal 18?
We have to project 2018. We always have, we always do,
So where are you getting the information from?
by
They're booking the
future
weddings.
bookings.
By the bookings.
If we do not have them booked, in which, what I'm saying is, I just think that the board should know what the income is coming in before we vote in a position that we may not possibly be able to fund in the future.
What?
Yes, we can fund it
From
for
2
6
years from now?
months. No, starting July 1st.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think we have the information to say at this time. So maybe
But
what we'll
what
do
I'm
is take this
saying-
back to Mr. Mike McHugh, as he's running the Recreation
Yes,
Department at this time.
that's what I'm saying, is I just think it would be prudent to have that information.
Okay. Okay, finance first.
Yeah, I just, to hopefully maybe give you some bit of an answer, for fiscal 16, Bruce, you're correct, it was 273,000 in total revenue. However, there was $284,000 in expenses. So the loss, the operating loss is basically being offset by the remainder of taxation that we are continuing to contribute to the enterprise fund.
Well-
At year end, the retained earning balance was 87,000. we had a discussion when this article was reviewed in our committee of, I think what I'm getting to Mr. Blouse's concerns of that the 35,000 is a 6-month figure, and that if you're looking at hiring this person to be there indefinitely,
We're gonna have to rebudget.
if you're operating at a loss that's funded by, that's offset by taxation, you've got 87,000. What I am not sure of is at last town meeting, there was an additional amount of retained earnings that were to be applied towards their budget as we, in an attempt to reduce that number, and I don't have my exact notes here, Mr. Chairman, but I believe it was,
8,000?
How much? Approximately.
25, I think it was 25,000. No,
38,000.
38?
so,
Well, the reason,
my point being is that that 87 may be further impacted by additional expenses.
At what
And
point?
ultimately, that 35,000 that's being proposed may be there to cover for that 6-month period, but then when the new fiscal year begins, I think Mr. Blouse's concern is that if it's, the expenses are outweighing the revenue, would there be enough remaining retained earnings to fund $70,000 for a whole year?
let me ask you this, you're not really running a loss there, because we've always funded the administrative assistant through taxation, ever since I've been
My
around.
understanding is as an
Okay.
enterprise fund that's supposed to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, but why have
self-sustaining.
we always funded that administrative assistant?
Well, for starters,
Taxation.
that particular program's only, the enterprise fund has only been, I want to say fiscal 14 was the first full year of operations for that. The understanding was that there needed to be we're going to help this get up and going, but the understanding was that this would be weaned off over time, because as a enterprise fund, we should be self-sustaining. And to the recreation's point that had been made to me on previous occasions, that if they're driving revenues from the weddings, they should have the opportunity to take those profits and reinvest back in the camp.
Camp, yeah.
Unfortunately, that isn't the case based on the way the P&L lays out, and that need for taxation continues.
Okay.
Our overall concerns, and as you can see in the warrant, we did recommend by a vote of 3-2, but the underlying concerns for finance was really what Mr. Blouse's concerns are, is that if it continues to operate at a loss, would there be funding available to still pay somebody, or are we hiring somebody for 6 months that then in turn we're gonna have to let go?
Right.
Well, that would only occur if you basically went to fund that administrative assistant position. If you didn't, it would still be funded by taxation, and there'd be enough money in there to fund the recreation director, okay? But one of the purposes of the recreation director is to stimulate more rentals at the camp. That's one of the main reasons, why you're hiring a professional to bring in there. Because right now you have a $300,000 operation that's not being run by a professional. It's being run by part-timers, and it's being run by administrative assistant. And so you bring in a professional recreation director, which most towns have done, that have a rental facility, to stimulate the rentals and bring in more rental money, not only for the Needles Lodge, but for the greatly underutilized cabins up there to promote the camp. And then once you do that, you know, you could conceivably turn your $300,000 into $400,000 or $500,000, okay?
Which goes back to your question of, though, how do you know?
Right.
Well, you don't know. We don't know a lot of things about what's gonna happen, but that's one of the reasons why you do it, and it's been proven in other communities that happens, okay? So
Okay.
you have to let it happen and take it a year at a time. Certainly it's not totally a slam dunk, but it's a reason why we wanna do this. To run the operation more professionally, to bring in somebody to stimulate the activity, promote recreational activities for the children and the adults of the town of Hanson, and balance it between try to balance it more between a recreational facility and a rental facility, and at the same time promote more rentals and start renting some of those cabins that go unused year after year after year. It's a beautiful facility, and if it's promoted correctly, myself and a lot of other people think that it's gonna be a boon to the town to bring in more rental money, sustain that camp, and maintain it for generations. That's
Okay.
the reason for the recreation director.
All right, thank you, Ms. Young. I think what we can do is, we can bring this back to Mr. Mike McHugh and ask him to give us the projections for 2018, right? And that would give us some number there, right? And obviously, to what Mr. Young has just said,
I'll
we
make
could
the
actually
same-
increase that number, it's
Yeah.
possible, right? So, what we'll do is, Mary, can we put this to, as a take back to Mike, we need more detail, more information on this?
Yes, we can.
2018 projections, please. Mrs. Kemet?
Thank you. And
Laura, to say your name, I'm sorry.
Laura Fennett, 83 Bay State Circle. You're not gonna make me stand up at the.
No,
thing, are you?
that's okay. We're doing practice.
So I agree that it potentially, and most likely, will bring in more money. But I think I understand what Dave is saying, which is like, if this passes and all that, we're hiring somebody with an assumption that that will happen. Like, what's Plan B if that doesn't happen? Like, we'll have somebody on the
Because it won't be
payroll, and
funded.
what will the source of funding be if that dries up or if there's not enough money? I mean, it's a possibility.
Of course it is, everything's a possibility.
So what's
The sky
Plan
could
B?
fall
That's what
tomorrow.
Dave's at, that's
The
what's.
the sky could fall tomorrow.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on.
Mr. Chairman, I was directing
I know,
you.
if, let
Yeah.
Mrs. Kemet please speak and finish.
Everything's a
So
possibility.
So I think that's really what the question is there a Plan B, because it would be irresponsible to hire somebody without knowing that we were absolutely gonna be able to fund that position.
That's ridiculous.
So what we can do is, we still talk about it at town meeting.
Yeah.
We'll have Mike have the numbers at that time.
Yeah.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah,
think that's
that's
the way to
all
go.
I'm asking for,
Right.
is I would like to
Yeah,
have
some projections for
as
2018. It's a valid question, David, thank you, appreciate it.
How do you have projections in there if you can't formulate how many more rentals you're gonna get by hiring a recreation director?
I'm sure they can trim.
We know the number, but we know that it's subject to change too, right? It's probably gonna
Of course you
increase,
can, but
absolutely.
You've never had the experience of having a recreation director in this town.
That's
So how are
right.
you gonna trend it?
I'm not going to trend it.
No, you
I'm gonna
can't
say what
trim
we're gonna
on
do.
that. You just
Can't,
trim based on-
can't do it tonight.
Yep, agreed. I mean, the thing is the numbers are fluid, right? So we know, but we need to know what we don't know, which is what that number is in amount. And that can be done. I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, you don't know, you're gonna get the same money in cherry sheet money next year from the state. We might get $1 million less and have to lay off 20 people. Who the heck knows?
I said the number's fluid. I think we've been pretty clear on that, so. The number is subject to change.
Can I say something real quick?
Mr. Mitchell?
I think that, I think I agree with Bruce, that the place needs to be run like a business, and if you put the proper management in there, that you could possibly absolutely generate more money for that place. If you don't have enough money to fund a position, then you have to lay the person off. It's that simple. That would be unfortunate, but I think, me being a business guy, I think you take the risk. And you get somebody good in there, and you put them in there, and you have them advertise it, and you try to increase that 300,000 to 5, but if you don't take, right now, we definitely have to do something over there. And I think it's a risk that's worth taking, in my opinion.
I'm completely bullish on this position. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm just worried about, we get this great person, they're starting up, maybe they don't have enough time to, bring the money in that they need to fund their own position, what's gonna happen? That's really my own question. I'm not questioning.
Everything's
Yeah.
It's a
No,
good question.
nothing's a slam, nothing is certain in life, Laura, you know that.
I think it's a risk worth taking,
But
that's
you
all.
gotta try
All
it.
right.
Point of order, Mr. Singh. Can we
Directions
move on? We're
approved.
gonna talk this to death
Yeah,
tonight. This is not the
Move
time.
Well,
on.
let's go, guys. So I think it was a valid question, and
Sure it is.
I agree with you guys. I respect you on it. Even if I didn't agree, we should respect people on those, right? So we're gonna go on with this. Are there any other questions? All right, if that's our biggest nut to crack, I think we're gonna be okay, all right?
Believe me, that will be a nut to crack on town meeting floor.
Okay. Maybe we'll put that one
You can
first.
expect
What do you think, or last?
You ready for that,
Article
Sean?
21.
Bruce, wait
We
your
were,
best time.
we were almost there. Almost there. Man, okay, next one, Article 21.
I move the town vote to accept the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 60A, Section 1, which governs motor vehicle excise tax and exemptions thereto. This provides exemptions for military personnel.
Thank you.
Any idea who will make this motion?
I'm
Kathy
guessing,
Marie?
yeah, I think so.
Yep.
I will check with Lee tomorrow.
Thanks.
Lee could even make it.
2018.
You're up, Jim.
Okay, I'm up, I'm sorry. Okay, I move the town vote to amend Hanson General Bylaws, Article 3-8, by adding a new section 7 as printed in the warrant, which is for all-terrain vehicles on town property. No person shall operate a motorized all-terrain vehicle, snowmobile, dirt bike, or other similar motorized off-road utility vehicle as may be defined under General Law, Chapter 90B, on any town-owned property without the express written permission of the Board of Selectmen. And item 2, fines for violation of this bylaw should be $100 for the first offense, $300 for each additional offense. The selectmen or their designee shall have the authority to issue fines via a non-criminal disposition. Fine shall be in addition to any available equitable means of enforcement.
Mr. Chairman, there will be an amendment to this. After we had already had the warrant ready to go to be posted, some additional changes came up which have been run by town council, and he's approved them. So once it's moved, a motion will be made, but it will be prepared in time for the town clerk to have all the language.
Language? Cool. This is basically going to bring us in sync with the state law, correct?
Yeah, what it does is, in terms of the definitions, it does, but it gives you a local enforcement option that you can do through your normal police powers, whether it be non-criminal disposition or just equitable authority through the courts. Whereas going through the state process, you have to rely on others very often.
Thank you, Jay. That was Jay Talman, ladies and gentlemen. Article 22. Who's up?
That was 22, wasn't it?
Is that Article 22?
23.
We're on 22.
Article 23, I apologize.
Mr. Young.
I move that the town vote to adopt Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40, Section 8J. Explanation, this statute establishes a commission on disabilities which consists of at least 5 but not more than 9 members as appointed by the Board of Selectmen to address federal and state disability laws.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Article 24.
I move the town vote to accept Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 40, Section 22G.
You can take
You
the
can
word
take it.
adopt out of there.
Take the what?
Adopt, take that out.
He's ready for that one.
Okay. We'll have the right language for you, Donnie, on Monday.
No,
It says
I
cross
crossed it
out.
out.
Okay. Any questions on that one? Moving on. Article 25.
I move the town vote to amend the Town of Hanson General Bylaws, Article 2-19, Parks and Fields Commission, by adding at the end of the first paragraph in Section 1 the following statement. One member of the Board of Selectmen may serve as a member of the Parks and Fields Commission.
Article 26. I move the town vote to amend the Town of Hanson's General Bylaws, Article 2-6, General Provisions governing all departments, board, committees, commissions, and elected officers, Section 15, by deleting subsections A, B, C, and D, and replacing the last sentence of the first paragraph, which presently states, "This bylaw shall provide that," with the following: the procedures to be followed in the
Implementation.
what is it again?
Implementation.
Implementation, thank you, of this bylaw shall be those procedures contained within GLC 40, Section 57, as may be amended, as printed in the warrant. 2-1, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Beth.
That was a test, see if you're paying attention.
Mary's giving me the tongue twisters.
This was a lot. This was a pretty wordy one. We should have gave it to Bruce. No.
What's that?
We should have given you this article.
No, wait,
I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
Wait till we get
All
to
right.
my article. if you
Okay,
want to see
okay.
a wordy
All right,
article.
I'm with you. All right, I'm with you.
Article 28 is far more
All
wordy.
right, I needed a laugh. Okay, here we go. Article 27. I move the town vote to have an elected committee known as the Memorial Field Trustees become a committee appointed by the Board of Selectmen. Such vote being conditioned upon passage of the voters at the next annual town election. Why don't I read this one? It's a good explanation. For several years, many of the elected positions of the trustees of Memorial Fields have been unfilled. Many times, no one takes out in nomination papers for the open seats, resulting in write-in candidates who are elected by very few votes and who are unwilling to serve. Parks and Fields Commission has taken over the maintenance and scheduling of activities in these fields. I think is it Parks and Fields has been doing it, or Bill
Yeah.
Brown, or both, right? Currently, there are 2 vacancies on the trustees of Memorial Field.
Mr. Young, I hate to really disappoint you, but Article 28 will be passed over.
I don't mind at all. I don't mind at
I
all.
know you were ready to read.
But now you get
But-
Article 26.
I move that Article 28 be passed over.
Yes, there
It
you
will be
go.
passed over.
Yes,
And the reason why is because the language has changed and it'll be 7 pages long, is that correct?
correct. The, it's a bylaw, a zoning bylaw change, which is quite lengthy, and a copy of the proposed bylaw is on file at the town clerk's office.
Wonderful.
The planning board held a hearing last night and made changes to it, and to be able to accommodate those changes, the entire 7 pages would have to be read. So Mr. McHugh recommended that it be passed over, and we'll deal with it in May.
In May, excellent.
Finish, Lee. Where you going?
Pass over.
Gentlemen, can we talk about 25 for a second?
Absolutely, I thought we moved awfully quick past that one. So this
Well,
one,
before we go back to 25, 27 maybe passed over?
28.
28
will be passed over.
28 will be.
Will be passed over.
that's on the
Look at
solar
zoning articles, will be-
photovoltaic installations, solar panels. So Article 25, Mr. J. Talon?
Mr. J. Talman, okay. So this bylaw raises my blood pressure a little bit for you guys. So,
That's not good, because that means we pay more.
no. See?
No,
So
I'm hearing you.
I've opined
Yeah.
that you guys can't put this into practice because the selectmen can't appoint themselves to a board. To a subcommittee, yes, but to a board. Now, the thought was, well, let's put it out there anyway, and maybe the AG approves it. Well, that's not my concern, because I think this is, the reason that selectmen can't do this is because the ethics statutes prohibit you from doing it. So my concern is that the AG will approve it. No one will say anything, then one of you is gonna get appointed, and you're gonna get a dime dropped on you from someone else,
In violation.
and then someone will raise an ethics violation. So even if it's passes the AG's muster, you guys someone could still get stung for that.
With this board, I think you can count on it.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a pretty, I get the goal here, and I think the goal is completely altruistic, and we're just kind of a slave to what, what we have here. I think there are ways to maybe restructure some of these things to give the selectmen more of a say in these kinds of, a seat at the table, or establish some subcommittee oversight, or put some of these boards actually, like, the Board of Selectmen would serve as them. But my concern is that 3 years from now, let's say nothing happens. You guys appoint someone, goes fine. One of you guys could get in a spat with someone who doesn't like you, or someone could just be nosy. 3 years from now, never happens.
Nothing happens with this board.
And
Where
then
do you get
someone will
that
say,
idea?
well, wait a
Could you
second,
pick which one of us it would be?
My second cousin's a lawyer and said that that's illegal, and they file something, and when there's an ethics violation, then you get your name in the newspaper, and then your employer sees your name in the newspaper for violating ethics laws. And these are the kinds of things that keep me up at night when I see a complaint come down against one of you guys.
It's a good point.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Q.
Jay, would it be solved if it was amended to read one member of the Board of Selectmen and serve as an ex officio member of the Parks and
And we've done that before with other contexts. Yes, that we can do, and we have done, Kenny, right? Didn't we do that with recreation or someone else? We appointed someone ex officio when we had an issue?
Yeah, not ex officio. Right now it's liaison,
Well, same.
non-voting liaison.
Seems similar context though.
So I think we could probably go that route.
I personally, I think an ex officio member gives you a different status from a liaison.
Yeah.
I mean, if, neither one has a vote, but I think one is a member of the committee and the other is just kind of a.
Mary's right, it sounds better too.
It does.
Looks
Yeah,
better on
I think that's what we should do. Is it too late to change that?
No,
No, we can
no,
move it
we
to
can put it
one.
right in the motion.
Yeah.
This one member of the Board of Selectmen shall serve as an ex officio member of the.
Should we vote on that?
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
vote. So,
So we're gonna
more
Mrs.
discussion?
Frizzetti's
I'm sorry,
got a
Ms. Frizzetti.
Wasn't this originally written to allow you to be a voting member?
Not allow me to allow a selectman possibly.
Well, whoever was on the Parks and Recreation
Correct.
representing us. But I mean, nothing is said about it being a right to vote, which is now you're taking it away anyway, which is what the initial purpose of this.
But that's
amendment
okay,
was.
because the goal is to still serve and to be able to help the kids with the parks and fields. So the voting portion of it is a very, very minimal portion, you know?
But I like
But
your
you're right,
idea.
yeah, thank you. And you were there and you remembered that.
And you're right, if we could change it to say Kenny Mitchell specifically, we'd. But we can't. Right? I love the idea, though.
Yeah.
You're thinking, that's terrific.
Hey, she's one of my fans, leave her
She
alone.
is, no,
Okay, we're all.
I just lost a couple.
all right. Okay.
So do we want to move that?
Do we want to vote to change the language to include ex officio, is that how you say it?
Officio.
officio.
Ex officio, apologies.
Yeah, sure.
On Article 25.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Discussion further? All those in favor? Aye. 5-0, Mary.
Thanks, Jay.
Change,
We don't want you to have high blood pressure.
no. Actually, you know, Jay, you're talking yourself out of business, because we would have had to hire you to defend Kenny, and thank you.
He could have made some money in it.
Yeah, you could. So you're an honest guy, thank you.
That's right.
That's what we have, is an honest lawyer, and that's terrific.
But just so you know, for the
Is there
record,
such a
the
thing?
town administrator was sharing your concerns, just so you know.
We did.
So,
All right, we made it through the town meeting preview. Thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stay or leave, whichever you so choose.
Time for dinner.
It is. Thank you, Sean. We'll see you
Take care,
Monday
Sean.
night, man.
We'll see you Monday.
We have a one-day liquor license request at Camp Kawani for Miss
I
Allison
emailed
Valchuis
you.
of Australia, New York.
Second.
Saturday, October 1st, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. wedding. Motion has been made and seconded. Discussion?
so you can vote before Mary knows.
Anything, those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
5-0.
You got that, Mary?
So they're gonna go
No, let's
forward
wait for
with
that.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I will change that. Okay, it's 5-0? Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Do you want my book back in case you get more motions in, or should I just take it?
Okay.
I'll take me add the motions to it if you want.
Sure.
And bring it with you.
As they come
One
in.
part to report.
Yes.
One-day liquor license, Don moved it, I seconded it. 5-0.
5-0. See you Monday, Jay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jay,
One Ponset Pond.
on the one-day
Committee
liquor
reports,
license.
Mont Ponce Pond Committee, Mr. Howard.
On September 12th, the cyanobacteria count on East Lake was 300 cells per million. On West Ponce Pond at the boat ramp, it was back up to
Run that
1,300,700 and something cells per million.
Because he already did. Okay.
So, according to Brockton, they expect to take water October 1st, but I assume that that possibly won't happen because of the fact it has to be under 70,000 cells per million in Westlake before they can do that. And so
That's a big number.
that's the latest report.
And that's high because of the low rain count that we've had, is that right?
Yeah, well, the pond is low, and this is the time it should have been treated, and it's not gonna be, because nobody has any money to treat it with.
I see.
So, I don't know when it'll be low enough for them to take water. And Silver Lake is down over 5 feet, and I imagine, that was the 12th, so I imagine this is now the 27th, so I assume it's probably dropped a few more inches, if not feet.
Well, hopefully last night's rain and this morning's rain helped.
Well, that isn't gonna help.
Not much, no.
No.
Okay.
300s we had, 3.4 hundredths.
Of an inch, yeah. Thank you, Donnie, very much. The Indian Head and McQuam Priority Repair Committee, Mr. Bruce Young.
At our last meeting, we voted to approve all of those items that are on the warrant for the various schools, and that was the result of our meeting.
That was Article 18, was it?
Yes,
It
I
wasn't,
believe so.
right? For those itemized
So,
items, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next,
Recommend, I shouldn't say approve, recommend.
recommend?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have approval power, we have recommending
Yep.
power.
Next on our agenda is the Highway Building Committee. Mr. Scott?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Highway Building Committee met last night at the Highway Barn to form, the meeting was to form an approach to doing an informational issue at the town meeting, which it's not an article, it's not on the town meeting agenda, but it would be done out in the hallway. We're going to have some photos of the proposed design for the new building. We're also going to have the design issues for the interior of the new building for other people to observe. And hopefully we'll have some brochures to hand out with that information on it for the people. We, just a little feedback on information. I met with the foreman at the light control property, and still part of what we're going to accept is they're almost 90% done on the cleanup down there. They expect to be done by the end of November. They still will have to come back in the spring to plant some shrubbery and consistent with the requirements of conservation and the Corps of Engineers and all that. But they will be completely done right after the first of the year. And they will be done with the cleanup of that project too. So that's a real plus, because the tie-up with them is they can't turn it over to us until such time as they complete the whole project because of the permitting. That was some good news that we heard from them. In our conversation at the meeting, I spoke with the superintendent, supervisor, Mr. Brown from the Highway Department. We're concentrating mainly on the bigger of the two buildings. We call it building number 1, and that's what will be pictured for the townsfolk to see. Building number 2 is going to be used for storage that will be available for fire department, the police department, some, maybe the water and everything. But listening to the conversation from the police chief tonight about this cache, or cache, whatever they call it, for equipment, Mr. Brown is going to look into contacting those people to see if this secondary building might be a good facility for storing that equipment for the use of all the different cities or towns that may want to bring it there. Also, they're going to look into possible some funding for the renovation of that building if it's available. It's all hypothetical at this point, but it was a good idea that was brought up by Mr. Brown.
Nice.
But that's basically where we are. We will have some people in attendance at town meeting to do that informational. It won't be in the meeting itself, it'll be in the hallway.
Nice.
That's
In May,
all we have.
right? Yeah.
And our next meeting is posted for town meeting. We don't plan to take any votes or anything, but we will be there. So we've posted a meeting for the 3rd also of the Highway Building
got
Committee.
you.
Oh, we will be. Mr. Murray will be posting that.
Gotcha.
That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. The lesson learned on the cleanup, right? So we're not running the same issues we did at Plymouth County Hospital. Final Plymouth County Hospital Committee update. Mr. Howard, you're on.
Oh. I'm trying to figure this thing out here.
You're doing good.
You're doing good,
though,
Yeah, you're doing
I've still got it lit, and I've got a lot of stuff on it, so I'm doing good.
Don's gonna give classes.
Anyhow, progress report. Tomorrow, Wednesday, September 28th, from 7 to 8, Miriam is going to be here, and Phil Clements on the reuse committee report. I won't be here, but I'm sure, I hope somebody shows up. It'll be at the meeting room here at the Selectman's office. And also, there's gonna be another walk at Plymouth County Hospital grounds, Saturday morning, October 1st at 9 a.m. Anybody in Hanson that would care to walk around and see the property that you own, it'll be a good time, and I hope it doesn't rain. So they'll be meeting in the parking lot by the Hanson Food Pantry at 228 High Street.
Don, is that gonna be like the final meeting or the final report? When do you think the final?
No, I read this thing every time, and it says, the final Plymouth County Hospital. We've been meeting since February.
Right.
but it always says final.
Yeah, because that's the name of the
question
committee.
myself.
That's the name of your committee. We named it that.
That's the name of the
I
committee.
know, but I question myself every time I have a meeting Wednesday.
No, I know.
That's the idea. We want it to be the final, so keep questioning
That's right.
yourself.
Well, I've got the dates posted for the whole month of October at the police station at 4 o'clock, if anybody cares to join us up there, so. It's a very nice, comfortable area. It's quiet and
It is,
peaceful.
yes. Nobody knows you're having a meeting there.
I agree with you, Donnie. I
So,
would
that's what I have for a report.
thank you, sir.
And I think, I don't know, they'll probably find out supposedly Wednesday or tomorrow, they were supposed to take down the section that's fallen,
Yes, sir.
which is detrimental to the town because it's.
Great news.
It's really dangerous.
The hazardous.
And what I have been told, they're gonna take it all down and put it in the cellar of one of the areas where they take it down and confine it to a small area, and they're gonna cover it over with plastic and contain it with some hay bales, so that at the time, if it ever does happen and the county, and the hospital is taken down, that material will be removed at the same time. That's all I have that I can remember.
Terrific.
That's a great, but we're
And,
starting somewhere, so it's good to see that.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Mr. Scott.
I apologize to the committee. Each one of us has on our email some picture of the proposed highway building, what it may look like when it's finished, just for your information. And if you scroll up a little bit, you'll also see.
Where is that, Bill?
It's in your emails.
If you push the email button and then reach out.
Where is that?
It's,
The one that shows, it shows an envelope, Dawn.
Well, I
it's an
gotta,
email
homepage,
from,
hit
it's
your
an
home
email
button.
from me,
Hit the home button,
Click that button. Now
and
go to your
then
mail.
see, and click
bottom.
on the envelope.
down the bottom.
it says Dropbox, Messages, Safari, Mail.
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 Yeah, mail. There you go.
I hit Mail.
Don't hit the
Okay, now to
female
the
button.
left should be an email from me with a blue dot next to it.
Yeah. Hit that and then look for the
And then
PDF.
scroll all the way
It
to
should
the
be- it should be
bottom.
right at the
Oh,
top.
that's nice.
No, I got a whole mess of blue dots here.
Green, yeah.
Right, but the one for me should be at the very top.
They can
I
see
can't
this,
imagine
the
you get much
audience.
more mail.
Meredith Marini.
That'd be me.
If that helps.
Okay.
Meredith
Now,
Marini, here
now
Zoom
push
in on
that
that.
all the way up.
No?
Is that this
Meredith
one
Marini.
here?
Still.
Yeah. Now push it all the way up. Keep sliding up to the, till you get to the bottom.
Yeah, it's all the way up.
Okay, keep going. Keep sliding. It's, I know you're not done yet.
Even cut the
This is going
It
back
won't
to the
go up
highway.
anymore,
No,
man.
okay, now there should be a little box
Tap to
that will, if
download.
you tap on the
Says
left.
W in it?
I don't know if there's a W in it. Is there a
Have
W
to
in it?
download. Where is it?
I'm holding it still, sorry.
Is it a PDF, Mary?
It's a
Yes,
PDF,
yes,
yeah.
it's
All
PDF.
right, so if I hit that, I should
It
get
should
it.
open up.
There it is.
Keep
There it is.
scrolling,
Town of
Dawn.
Hanson Highway Department, it's all built. There it is. Look at that. Look at that, Dawn. It's all,
You get
I
it?
just put it
Mine
up.
doesn't
You
work.
got it. Good. All right. That's it.
How am I gonna get out of this?
Originally, the building was gonna be blue. and
I'll learn.
Mr. Brown had requested, he really didn't want,
It
if it
doesn't
gets to that
say
point, he
email?
really didn't want a blue building.
Yeah.
So it is,
We'll get you there, Don.
it's,
Uh,
the grade is
On
being
this one
green.
here,
He
can
didn't
you
want to
show
mess
me
the-
where there's email here?
Water
There
fountain.
isn't.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion's been made to adjourn.
I don't
Mr.
know.
Scott, would you like to second?
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Have a good
Dawn's
night,
funny
folks.
guy. Funny guy.